Hold the bus, she's just upside down in her cot now. Holy shit. What the hell's she doing? This girl's going to be the death of me, you can. Can you not? She had turned herself upside down.
Poor thing, you'll be putting her in a straitjacket when she goes to her bed. It's a big game, and if they didn't get their act together, they're going to get absolutely pummeled. So absolutely humbled, I said.
Brilliant.
Do you like that?
Absolutely, because we're just full of lemons. I don't know what that's...
And limes.
I don't know what that's meant to mean, to be honest. Dave, you've got as I said before, you've got a team against... you've got a team that plays again in Moscow. So I'll say that again. Dave, as of... Fuck's sake. I'm trying to rush through things here.
When you go.
So as I said before, Dave, you've got a team that plays against Moscow as... fuck's sake. I don't know.
Aye, well, it is Rangers, Derek. So. When Rangers played them... oh shit, I've not even wrote the blooming date down, Derek. I've not wrote the date down.
Fucking amateur, it's the 1st of November 2001.
And the stadium erupts in red, white and blue. You've never seen anything like it.
Let's go.
Manchester, brace yourself. Rangers are coming!
Hi everyone, and welcome to the next episode of the iReady podcast. As ever, I'm your host Derek, and with me is my co-host Dave. Good evening, Derek. How are you? Not bad. Yourself?
Derek, if you listen to this, are you ready? Now, have a guess what I'm drinking, Derek. I think you could be wrong this evening, but have a guess.
I'm going to think it's Pepsi Original.
Wrong. It is, in fact, you ready for it? 7-Up.
7-Up.
Did you like that, mate?
Oh,
do you like
God.
that?
That's
do you like that?
good.
You cannot say I'm not well prepared on this. No, it is a can of 7-Up, and you know, as we all know, it's very fitting for this evening's pod, isn't it?
Yes, we have got a few games to cover. Obviously, the games against St Mirren, Spartak Moscow, and the 7-1 victory against Motherwell. Can't quite believe that, but we'll get into that. Obviously, as ever, we've got a classic match where we've got another team from Moscow to cover, and a bit of pieces in the news as well. So,
excellent.
Yes, so we'll just rattle on, I suppose, and we'll go down the tunnel and onto the pitch.
Yes.
Right, so the first game was Saturday the 3rd of November. It was a 2-0 win away against St Mirren in the Premiership. We lined up McGregor, Tavernier, Worrell, Goldson, Halliday, Jack, Arfield, Ajaria, Kent, Grejda and Morelos. Subs were Fotheringham, Katic, Flanagan, Koulibaly, Rossiter, Candias and Middleton. So really, the first half was quite dire, wasn't it, for both teams? Yeah, it was just a non-event of a game. We didn't really put their keeper under much pressure. St Mirren actually probably had the two best chances of the half. We were really devoid of any ideas up front, despite again having a bulk of the possession, which has started to become a feature of our team again, did it?
Yeah, it did. It was one of the games, Derek, because the game, I mean, certainly in the first half, like you said, it was pretty turgid, wasn't it? Yep. We didn't really get going at all. St Mirren, they were quite happy that we were playing that way. They were basically just there to try and stop us from playing, but let's be honest, they had a pretty easy game because we weren't offering much at all, were we?
No, certainly the first of their two best chances of the half came on the 5th minute, which was a free kick from 25 yards on the right of our box, forced McGregor to tip it over the bar and make a really good save, so worrying signs straight away.
Yep.
And in the 6th minute, a minute later, though, I think it directly came from the corner. It was a great counter-attack down the right. We cut it inside to the middle, then wide left. Ajaria picked up the ball on the edge of the box and has a shot, forcing a good save for the keeper. So it was good to see that we were, managed to, out of, a bad piece of play, turn it around and quick counter-attack, which seems to be a good feature of our team, as we are able to get forward quick.
We counter-attack at the pace that we counter-attack is excellent, Derek. It is one of the, probably the strongest part of our play, I think. But I think sometimes it doesn't work when we are playing against teams that we're dominating the play. Do you know what I mean? It sort of counteracts each other a wee bit, and it wasn't working. And that was one of the very few times in that match that, unfortunately, it did. It just didn't come off for us.
No. Once again, though, St Mirren got their second chance of the game on the 13th minute, where they crossed the ball in from right to left into the box. Tavernier slipped and allowed his attacker to turn and hit a snapshot inside the 6-yard box, forcing McGregor to make another great save and again out for the corner. So worrying from the defence. I know that players can slip and these things happen, but Tavernier and his defensive duties once again starting to rear their ugly head again. But and really not a lot else happened in the half. The next note I've got here is the 46th minute, I believe it or not, which was the ball played from right to left quite quickly. The ball played back across the goal, but it was too far in front of Morelos, who was sliding in. Probably the best move of the half for us, to be honest. It just needed that extra wee half-yard pace for Morelos to slide in, and it would have been in the net, but not to be. And 47th minute, a minute later, there was a corner from St Mirren on the right, floated to the back post. The St Mirren player speculatively turns and hits a shot goal bound. McGregor spills it, falls to a St Mirren player again, who shoots it wide from the 6-yard box. So that rounded out the half. So again, you could see the defensive frailties, creeping in once again, and they weren't picking up their men. They were a wee bit ropey and crossing, but certainly nothing to write home about. We, still 0-0 at the end of the day. As I said, we dominated most of possession. So. Right, so into the second half, we've obviously played a wee bit better, and again, no, there was really not a lot to write home about until really the last kind of 10-15 minutes of the game, wasn't there? So 47th minute, Ajaria had a shot from about 20 yards, made the keeper pull off a save, but it was really right at him. He did spill it, and it fell to Grezda, but it was knocked out for the corner. The resulting corner was swung into the right area, but it was just beyond the head of Goldson. Again, it's one of these things, if he had just connected with it, it was in the back of the neck. So I think it skiffed off the top of his head, I think. 53rd minute, it was a great pass from Morelos onto the on-running Kent, takes the ball into the box, cuts inside, tries to shoot, but it was blocked. It was a really good move. Kent maybe had taken one of these things where he had taken one too many touches. If he had maybe just had the control and then shot rather than try to cut it inside, and he might have got a shot off and make the keeper make a save. But 54th minute, Grezda had a shot on the edge of the box and it hits off the post this time, and right after that he actually came off and Candeas came on, and that was probably the turning point from there. 59th minute, it was a quick break from Morelos, cut it back to Arfield, who shoots, and it was cleared off the line. Falls to Ajaria, but snuffed out before he got a shot out. Falls to Candeas, who shoots again. It was again cleared off the line. Falls to Jack and then shoots wide. So it was,
it was incredible.
So a quick flurry, two cleared off the line, a shot couldn't get off. It was unlucky all round, and you were thinking it was one of these days it's going to be one.
Yeah, no, it was like a game of pinball at that point, Derek, because it was just getting battered in constantly. Every single time it felt to our players, it was another shot getting cleared, another shot getting cleared, another shot getting cleared, and you thought, this just isn't going to happen for us. And that's the kind of feeling that I had at that point. I don't know about you.
Yeah, absolutely thought that was going to be the same, but the next kind of play, we did actually score in the 79th minute where Candeas scored. Tavernier was in the middle and he played it wide right to Candeas, who was on the edge of the box, who shot, and he looped it over the keeper into the back of the net. Not really sure if he tried to cross it or he actually did have a shot, to be honest. It was one of these maybe being a fluke one, but certainly I'll take it every day.
It was a fantastic finish, Derek. So if he has meant it, of course he's going to say meant it, isn't he? But as you said, at that moment in time we would have took anything, wouldn't we have? And it was a spectacular goal regardless.
Yep, absolutely. And he also got booked after that because he ran to our fans and started hugging them. Now that obviously becomes a big point. Now one other point here as well, there was 3 other Rangers players that ran into the fans as well and hugged the fans, yet Candeas Candace was the only one that got booked. So was there a change in the rules there? I don't know.
Well, I don't know, and it's certainly, what was to prevail after that certainly played a big part, didn't it?
Yep, absolutely. 86th minute, Ajaria came off and Rossiter came on, and we went 2-0 up on the 91st minute with Morelos. It was a throw-in from St Mirren deep into their half. It went to our player, past the Arfield, who passed to Morelos in the box on the right-hand side, and he shoots it past the keeper. Brilliant goal all round, and as Morelos was celebrating, he was hit with a coin. He never had any theatrics, he just got on with it, unlike Neil Lennon, and just a shocking scene, wasn't it, with the fact that he was hit by a coin.
Absolutely shocking, and I actually can't believe that I've seen certain fans of other teams saying that it was photoshopped, believe it or not, Derek.
Yeah, exactly.
I've seen that online, and he got pelted in the stomach with it as well, but as you say, never flinched. He's obviously got rock hard abs, I don't know, Derek, but going back to his goal though, absolutely fantastic. Hit it such an acute angle, such power and such accuracy. It just shows the guy's top form at the moment to score a goal like that. Absolutely battered it, and then, as you say, slides into the crowd, gets pelted by a coin, doesn't move, nothing said about it. Rangers are very classy about it as well. They say, it's going to be in the referee's match report. We're going to let St Mirren deal with it, and there wasn't a big thing made about it, unlike some other folk that we'll not mention. But it's a pity that these things happen, Derek. We know that, but it's been highlighted a lot recently. It shouldn't happen. These folk are all scum, and I really hope that action's taken and they find the person really quickly. I don't know if they have or not, Derek.
I think they arrested the person, yeah.
Right.
But I mean, amazingly, in sports scene, Stephen Thompson claimed that Craig Sampson, the St Mirren keeper, had also coins thrown at him, which there's no TV evidence to suggest that he did. There's no complaints coming forward from the keeper, so quite convenient that, wasn't it? So
incredible that just that's the only place that we heard about it, Derek, was on the BBC, wasn't it?
Yep. And obviously the moment we've got to come to is a complete moment of just baffling this. Candace got himself sent off, or rather he never got himself sent off. The referee sent him off for some unknown reason. Initially it was really unsure what had actually happened. However, replay clearly shows that he blew a kiss to one of the Saints players. Saints keeper came up to him and had a word about apparently being unsporting. They both kind of laughed it off. Then Anton Ferdinand, the poor relation, put Candace in a headlock, seemingly looked to kind of move his hand up and punch him, and then bafflingly both players were given a yellow card, and that was Candace's second yellow, obviously, despite doing absolutely nothing. Even every single pundit absolutely baffled by it. Gerrard was being interviewed after the game, stated he didn't know what it was for, and then as they were doing the interview they showed him a video of it and he's called it absolutely embarrassing. So it's really unbelievable. I mean, Rangers appealed it under the mistaken identity clause, where you can appeal a yellow card if they think that the referee's got the wrong player, which I don't think it was ever going to work, and that was obviously rejected. They issued a great statement condemning the decision, both on the park and afterwards, and they've lodged an official complaint over Colum, as it's not the first time this season that he's had questionable refereeing decisions. The bottom line is that he's either clearly hasn't seen what's happened and done the easy thing that referees do and book both players, or if he's actually seen what's happened, it's arguably worse, because then, Candace has done absolutely nothing wrong and he's punished our player. And unbelievably, Colin pulled out of the game at the weekend citing a groin strain. Aye, right.
I think it's the first one, Derek. I think he's not actually seen what's happened. He's seen the two players together and he's done the easy thing and he's booked the two of them. I think that's exactly what it is. It's an absolute scandal, Derek. It really is. The fact that Daniel Candace basically was apologising to the goalkeeper, because I think the goalkeeper, Craig Sampson, has basically came out and said, that's like totally, because he blew a kiss to Anton Ferdinand. That's what he did when he ran past him. He blew a kiss in his direction, and he got pulled up for it by the goalkeeper, and you can actually see him saying to the goalkeeper, right, okay, I'm sorry, that was a bit unsportsmanlike. And then Anton Ferdinand comes up, puts his arm into a headlock and gives him a sort of uppercut punch to the chin. No, I know it wasn't much, Derek, but it's still, he's raised his hands to him. If anything, Ferdinand should have had a straight red card for it. Candace has done absolutely nothing and gets a yellow card.
Yeah.
Absolutely scandalous. And I'm going to correct you here, Derek. You're saying that this isn't the first time this season that Willie Collum has given some dodgy decisions against us. Every season that we've been back in the Premier League that we've had Willie Collum, we've had really dodgy decisions given against us. Absolutely shocking. And I'm not going down the route of it's biased by Willie Collum. I just think he's a really, really shit referee.
Yeah.
And the vast majority of times he doesn't know what he's doing, and he seems to be the type of guy who will not take any type of criticism whatsoever. And he's not, constructive or not, he's basically the type of guy who would turn and say, no, I'm in charge, I'm right, and I'm not really going to listen to what anybody says at the end of the day, which is wrong. If you're a referee and you're and you're doing, the game, you're as high up in the game as he is, you should be able to take criticism on board, Derek, and you should be able to sort of better yourself. But it's constant with him now. It really is, and it's not just our game. He's done it with countless other teams as well. I think he's just an absolutely shocking referee.
So are they all, though, and that's the problem. And it needs a fundamental change in the way refereeing is handled in Scotland. And then not only that, the way that the appeals process is handled. I can understand why they don't allow appeals of yellow cards, because you'll have every single instant getting reviewed in that respect. However, when it's clearly, glaringly obvious that our player has done absolutely nothing wrong, and we're not allowed to get that rescinded, as Rangers pointed out, he's now banned from going to his work through no fault of his own. So that means the chances are he'll be losing out an appearance fee and all that kind of thing, and then he'll not have the game time, so he'll be rusty for the next game. So it has a major impact on not only the choice that we've got to select him, but the player himself as well. So
yep,
that's just the SFA for you once again, though.
Shocking, Derek. Absolutely shocking. And how many times it's actually getting a rarity now that me and you will actually come onto this pod and not discuss a refereeing fault, which is really shocking in this day and age. It really is.
Well, as I said, that's how referees are being handled these days, and it's just absolutely baffling. And for him to, obviously we had at the start of the season against Aberdeen, the referee not seeing an instant, the linesman making up that he kind of guessed what happened in an instant, and it got our player sent off. And,
yes.
And then obviously we drew the game, because put that down to it because we're well on top before then. So
definitely, yep.
It's frustrating, isn't it? But
definitely, yeah.
So, into the next game, which was a bit mental, wasn't it? Thursday the 8th of November, it was away to Spartak Moscow in the Europa League Group G, Game 4. We lined up McGregor, Tavernier, Goldson, Katic, Flanagan, Koulibaly, Arfield, Ejaria, Candeas, Middleton and Morelos. On the subs bench we had Fotheringham, Worrell, Grezja, Jack, Halliday, McCrory and McCauley. A bit of a clusterfuck this game, wasn't it?
Where do you start, Derek? You go from sublime to an absolute fucking shambles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was one of the strangest games of football that I've ever seen, because there were stages during that game we looked absolutely fantastic, and then stages in the game we looked amateurish.
Yeah, just baffling again. But anyway, we start off on the 3rd minute. There was a 25-yard shot from Spartak just wide of the post. In the 4th minute, it was good play with us having a few shots blocked. Arfield crosses the ball on the deck in the box, and it deflected up over for the corner by the defender. And the resulting corner resulted in a goal, and we all thought it was Koulibaly getting the goal because the way he ran away and celebrated, but it turned out it was an OG. Great corner, floated into the middle of the box and off the head of the Spartak defender into the back of the net.
Yep.
And I think the corner came from Middleton as well, so
yes.
Certainly we've seen it before. His crossing was sublime, so at least we've got somebody who can take a set piece for now and put it in a dangerous area. 9th minute, there was a great 25-yard half volley from the Spartak player, forcing a great save from McGregor, but put it out for the corner. 20th minute, Spartak keeper tried to clear a bouncing ball and sclaffed it, nearly allowing Morelos to get in, but it wasn't to be. And then this is the first really shocking piece of defending. On the 22nd minute, Spartak drew one each. It was a ball out to the right side, cuts it back 3 times, puts a great cross into the back post where the Spartak man had drifted away from Candeas to head it into the back of the net from within the 6-yard box. Bad defending from Candeas to allow his man to drift off, and the fact that the player could, cut it back once, go it back to the touchline, cut it back 3 times, and then still get the crossover was a bit of a joke defending. And what's been a feature of this game is everything came down the left-hand side where Flanagan was, and he was getting obviously being a right-footed player. He was. I think
I text you that at one point, Derek. So, I mean, if it was obvious to the likes of me and you that that's where the problem was, then surely it was seen by the management team as well. But going back to the goal, it was just really, really poor defending all round, Derek, from the not closing the player down to the really sloppy marking as well. It was just a really, really poor goal to lose.
Yep, absolutely. 25th minute was a long looping cross from the left, hung in the air for ages, finds the Spartak man, and he heads it over the bar. As I said, once again coming down the left hand side, Flanagan really should have done better to stop the man getting his head to it, but one of these things again. But then certainly Candeas might have been at fault for Spartak's goal, but he made up for it on the 26th minute and he put us 2-1 ahead. Flanagan, one of the rare bits of brilliant play done this game. He had a brilliant long ball up from the halfway line on the left, right to Candeas near the edge of the box in the middle. Possibly looked offside, but on the replays he was miles onside. Lovely control, lovely turn, and a great shot into the back of the net. Brilliant goal all round.
Absolutely fantastic goal, Derek. I think the Spartak players thought he was all offside, but he was clearly onside. Fantastic ball played into him. His first touch was absolutely sublime, and the finish was even better. Absolutely sensational goal as well. And as you say, at that point you're thinking, right, we've survived their sort of onslaught. They're back in the game, but that's us. We're back up. We've got 2 away goals. Surely we can go on and get something out of this game now, surely. Yep.
32nd minute was a quick break, ending in Middleton putting in a quick cross in on the deck, and it was hit out for the corner, but the player could have easily put it in his own net. 34th minute, we decide to let in another goal, don't we, with a Goldson OG this time. It was a break down the middle, simple ball out to the right, poor cross. It was a poor cross from the Spartak player on the deck. I thought he was offside. It's not been picked up, mind you, but and Goldson sticks out his right leg and he tried to clear the ball with the outside of his right foot when it was a left foot clearance every day of the week, and it kind of flicked up and into the back of the net. Really, really poor defending from Goldson there. Once again, we've highlighted it in a few other pods where he keeps making these simple mistakes, which is letting the attackers in, and this time it cost us.
Yeah, it was poor again, Derek. It really was, and again, this sort of lack of concentration at that stage as well, wasn't it? And it looked, not just by Goldson but by everyone, it was just a really shocking goal to lose, and probably one of Goldson's poorer games for us, so it was just sort of apt. It was him that got the own goal.
Yeah. However, we made amends on the 40th minute with Middleton scoring. It was a long ball played from the halfway line on the right, cleared by the defence right into the path of Morelos, who had a poor touch, and the ball did get away from him, but it goes right to the left-hand side of the box, right into the path of Middleton, who was unmarked, and puts it into the back of the net. Brilliant finish from the youngster, wasn't it?
Yep, really direct, Derek. That's what I like about him. He just, he gets the ball at his feet, he just goes for it. And absolutely delighted for him. Great goal.
Yep. And 43rd minute to round out the half was a brilliant counter-attack ending in a goal for Morelos, but it was ruled offside. It was a lovely cross from Candeas from right to left to find Morelos, but never in a million years was that offside. Came from the near side where the linesman was probably only about 5 yards away from it. Just like the UEFA game when there was a offside decision, it was clearly offside and the near side linesman missed it completely. Another instant is cost us there, and going 4-2 up into half time would have made the whole difference, wouldn't it have?
And the goal itself, Derek, was an absolute belter as well. As you say, the cross was absolutely sublime, and the finish by Morelos was top drawer. And we all were jumping about celebrating just seeing that goal. It was absolutely brilliant, and as you say, the linesman just puts his flag up. Absolutely incredible. Looking back at all the replays, never offside in a million years. And that would, without a doubt, would have changed the game for us, Derek, without a shadow of a doubt. So again, poor decisions have cost us in games.
Yep. So into half time, obviously fairly happy, but it was one of these games where, the attack was half decent, but the defence for both teams was diabolical, wasn't it? It was like watching, an amateur game, to be honest, in the defence. Every time somebody went up, you would have thought, that somebody was going to let in a goal. Obviously fairly content going into 3-2 at half time. Frustrating, obviously it wasn't 4-2, but obviously reason to be fairly happy. However, the second half was just an absolute diabolical performance, wasn't it?
Aye, it was really, really poor. There was no fluency whatsoever in our play, and that was what going back to my original description. This was, amateur hour, and in the whole of this second half, it was actually quite embarrassing at some points, Derek, because we could not hold on to the ball. Yep. We couldn't hold on to the ball. We couldn't pass the ball, and when we were getting the ball, we were just, we were putting it backwards. We were actually laying it on a plate for them. It was really, really dire stuff.
Yep, so 46th minute, McGregor had a great save with his foot to put it out for the corner after a shot by Spartak in the box, and some good play from them. 51st minute was a call for a penalty for Spartak. Could have been given, as Katic did tangle with the attacker's legs, but he did kind of go down quite easy. I thought that was quite lucky, wasn't it?
It was, I think, because the referee, I think the same player had been diving about quite a few times before, Derek, so I think that's what saved us at that point, because he's obviously thought, here's this guy at it again, and as you say, it could quite easily have been a penalty because there was contact there. Yeah,
absolutely. And 55th minute was for a chance for us for a change. There's a good break down the park with Candace robbing the ball in midfield, gets forward out to the left of Middleton, takes the ball forward, steps over, great crossover, and it was knocked out for the corner. So it was a good movement once again up until the final third, where we just couldn't find our man, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it was excellent. And again, a wee bit unlucky there, and another missed chance, and going by, as you say, the way that both teams were playing, it could quite easily have been another goal.
Yep. And then our world fell in on the 57th minute, where it went 3 each. Quick break from Spartak, goes to the right of the box, cross on the deck, backheel flick, making McGregor pull off a really good save. The ball flicked up into the path of the head of the Spartak attacker and into the back of the net. Really, in the first place, the ball was given away very, very cheaply in midfield, and it allowed Spartak to get forward. We just never put the tackles in when we needed to. Can't fault McGregor in the slightest, because it was a great save, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it was an excellent save, and yeah, again, his defence let him down, Derek, didn't they?
Yep, and the moment of absolute just madness came 69 seconds later, where we went 4-3 down. We actually kicked off. They were still showing replays of the actual third goal that Spartak scored, and then all of a sudden they were up our half, and they'd put it into the back of the net. I have no idea how we lost the ball, because I haven't even watched it back, and I don't even know if they managed to pick it up. But really, it was a speculative shot off from maybe about 25 yards, flicked up off the boot of Golson and into the back of the net. Could argue that it was a wee bit unlucky flicking off his foot. However, he was very slow to close the player down in the first place, and how we lost the ball, I just do not understand from the kickoff, basically. From our kickoff,
absolutely terrible, Derek. That's what I'm saying. We were anytime we had the ball, we were either getting tackled, losing it, or if we were able to pass it, we were just laying it on a plate for them. It was absolutely diabolical. And at that point, I think everybody that was watching it, that was a Rangers fan, really couldn't believe what they were seeing. It was absolutely terrible.
Yep. On the 73rd minute, was a great free kick from Spartak from the left near the corner flag. Header by the attacker, and it hit off the bar, back out to the attacker, who shot, and another great save by McGregor. So once again, riding our luck there.
Yep.
And we never made any substitutions until the 81st minute, where Flanagan and Koulibaly came off, Grejda and Halliday came on. Now, we've talked about the lack of substitutions, or the lack of quickness of substitutions from Gerrard for the last few pods, and I text my mates from about the 51st minute. I said that this needs a change big style, and if it was clear for all of us to see, why the hell was he leaving it until the last 10 minutes, the last 8 minutes even, to make subs? That's ultimately it was clearly calling out for a change. Something wasn't working as soon as the second half kicked off.
Yeah.
We needed a change, yet he never done it.
Yeah, he has got to take the blame there, Derek, because like I said at the start, we could see that almost every attack that they were making was coming down their right hand side, which was our left. We could see quite clearly that Flanagan was having a shocker at left back. The same with Koulibaly. He had a very, very poor game, Derek. Probably the worst I've seen him. He couldn't do anything in midfield in that match, and it was crying out for both of those players to come off. But as you say, at least 20 minutes earlier than what they did, and it didn't happen. And it was just a shambles the second half, Derek. It was just a really, really poor performance. And, we were like, what the hell is going on here? Because we know that we've been able to, perform much better, especially in Europe. And, it was just really disappointing.
Yeah, I don't know where to go with that one, to be honest.
No.
92nd minute, it was a corner in from Middleton, hits the chest of Tavernier and off the post, and it was knocked away out for the corner. So the last wee flash of the ball, really, we managed to hit off the post, but close but no cigar, as they say.
Yeah.
And in the 93rd minute, when we're chasing a goal, an equaliser, Ajaria came off and Macaulay came on, and that was literally in the last 30 seconds. Again, another baffling substitution. We're chasing the game, yet he brings on a sub to waste time.
I know. I think I can maybe see his logic, but not at the time scale. He was bringing Macaulay on to give us some height, to hopefully get something for the corner. But again, too little, too late, Derek. It was. As you say, it was baffling because it was running the clock down, and I don't know if he maybe thought, one last roll of dice, we've got a corner here, let's just get the big men in and stuff, but it just didn't come off.
Yep.
But Steven Gerrard's he has taken some of the blame as well, but he's also been criticised the players heavily for it also. So it was just a poor performance all round by both the players and the management, wasn't it?
Yeah, I said in the post-match reaction is that we didn't deserve it, and I don't think we did, because you can't have a defence as leaky as that at this level. And you look at the first half, Spartak had probably more of the chances. They had certainly more of the possession. Second half, they definitely had more of the possession, more of the chances. McGregor pulled off a few great saves in the game as well. And again, our final third, apart from the goals and that last chance there, we really offered nothing. So, as I said though, I find it hard to get angry and disappointed at the team because, as I've said, for weeks now, we're punching well above our weight. We're still well in this group, and we're doing well. It's no disappointment. I wouldn't say we shamed ourselves in that game. Far from it. We just never played to the best of our abilities. Certainly leaves us. We've played 4 in that table. We've won 1, drew 2, lost 1, scored 8, conceded 7, goal difference +1, and we're on 5 points. We're currently sitting on third with the same points as Spartak just now, but they've got a better head-to-head. Villarreal are in first on 6 points, and Rapid Vienna are on 4. Obviously they're on the bottom peg. Everybody can still qualify, and that's what's amazing about this league just now. So all to play for. I would say win one game, and surely that's got to be win the next game against Villarreal. We're at home, obviously puts in a really good chance. Depends on obviously what happens with the next game though, doesn't it, with the other game with Spartak and Rapid. So it's definitely going into the last game unquestionably, so we'll just need to wait and see what happens there. But we've done ourselves proud, haven't we, so far?
Definitely, Derek, and we said that. I am now at the stage now that I am really hoping that we manage to get through. There's been a lot of people, I think we said it in the last pod, there's been a lot of people have said, we should be concentrating on our bread and butter and all that. I want us to do both, Derek, because the European football after Christmas is absolutely massive for us commercially and commercially, financially, and it keeps the players going as well, all these games, and it's absolutely brilliant, and it's just great for the club as being there. So I really hope we can do it now. As you say, one more victory, I think will do it. or maybe even possibly two draws, just as long as we don't get beat in any of the last games. It's going to be really difficult at home against Villarreal, because at the end of the day, Derek, they're a top team that play in La Liga. They've spent a hell of a lot of money, and they'll be fancying their chances big time against us. So that's going to be a difficult game. So maybe it's the away game that we should be really concentrating on, Derek. Away Rapid Vienna. As a game to try and win, but we'll wait and see. You would still going back to that last game, if anybody had said to you before the game, you're going to score 3 away goals, you would be thinking that we would have won it no problem. So
especially in Russia as well.
I know. So I know it's disappointing, Derek. I know what you said, but we didn't dream that we would be here at all. We said it right through the qualifying rounds, but now that we're here, I'm desperate for us to get through. I really am.
Yep. So into the last game I've got here, which was again a mental game. Sunday the 11th of November at home to Motherwell, where we won 7-1. So obviously being Sunday the 11th of November, Remembrance Sunday, and a minute's silence was once again observed impeccably. So
yes, absolutely fantastic, and the display was absolutely breathtaking as well that they put on. So major credit goes to Rangers and the supporters on that one. Absolutely brilliant.
Yep. So we lined up McGregor, Tavernier, Worrell, Katic, Halliday, Jack, Arfield, Ejaria, Grejda, Middleton and Morelos. On the subs bench we had Foderingham, Flanagan, Macaulay, Rossiter, McCrory, Atakai and Lafferty. Now obviously the two big things of the starting lineup there was no Goldson at all. Apparently he was out with some sort of chest bug, which is fortunately not related to his heart condition. And Grejda getting, I think that was his first start, was it not?
That's right, yes, aye.
So certainly paid off in the end. First minute, it was a 30-yard free kick from Motherwell, and it went wide on the left-hand post for us. However, 6 minutes later, we scored and went 1-0 up with Arfield scoring. Tavernier on the right-hand side near the halfway line plays a fantastic long ball up to Arfield on the edge of the box in the middle. Great touch, which outfoxes the defender, who loses his feet, and Arfield rounds him and curls a shot into the bottom right-hand corner. So great start once again.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant, Derek. And we thought at that point, early goal, it'll totally calm everybody down, and let's just go and try and get another one as quickly as possible to kill the game off. But going by our defence, Derek, switching off at these times, again, that wasn't to be, unfortunately.
Yep. 21st minute, cross in from the right from Grejda, header just over the bar by Morelos. It was a great quick move started in midfield by Arfield, so certainly having a good game so far. 24th minute, that defence played up again, didn't it? It was 1-1. We lost possession in midfield. There was a quick break from Motherwell, got the ball into the box. Katic out-muscled on the left-hand side. The attacker got a shot off at an angle on the left side and into the back of net. Really poor from Katic there. Shouldn't be getting out-muscled there for quite a big guy as well.
Aye, and Curtis Main really couldn't miss it. It was laid on a plate, cut straight back to him. Nobody on him either, which is really quite disappointing. There was nobody tracking him into the box, considering he's Motherwell's main goal threat. Just to let him, just sort of slide in there unchallenged, put the ball in. Absolutely shocking again by the defence. And we're sitting at that point, Derek, saying, again, what the hell is going on? And especially with Katic, because, Derek, when we signed him and we watched him play his first few games, we thought this guy is going to be absolutely fantastic for us. He's got everything that you need. He's got the speed, he's got the aerial ability, he's got the technical, ability. He can, he's got a great first touch. We all thought, what a find this guy is. He's going to be fantastic. And I honestly don't know what's happened to him, Derek. I honestly don't know, because he's just completely lost it, hasn't he?
It surely must be a confidence thing, because
got to be.
He was riding high, and then he also got taken off for a few games to allow Worrell to play, and ever since he's came back, he's not been the same. So a bit of man management, I think, is needed there.
It's puzzling, Derek, and as you say, it's got to be confidence with him. It's got to be, because we all know that he can be an absolute, a fantastic defender. We've seen it, and for him to go, so far back is unreal. But thankfully, it didn't play a big part in what was to happen after that.
Yep. And then the turning point of the game potentially was in the 32nd minute when there was a red card for McHugh for Motherwell. It was his second yellow card. His first yellow card happened around about 5 minutes before he got sent off. A really dirty challenge on Morelos. And he had, started laughing and going over to Morelos when Morelos was injured on the deck there. It was a clear as day yellow card. It was a bad foul, really dirty as usual with Motherwell and their hatchet men. So how he can argue about it is unbelievable.
I know, but Derek, no according to Michael Stewart.
Oh, aye. We'll get into him shortly. Then McHugh had another dirty challenge, a couple of minutes after that. It went unpunished. And then his second yellow was for a clear as day handball in the box. We had hit a shot from quite a distance and he slid in with his hands raised in the air, unnatural position. You could only think that he had put his hands up to charge the ball down and deliberately block it, hit off his hands, and he got his second yellow. He was raging about it. The Motherwell bench were raging about it. That Fanny, what's his name, Robertson, ended up getting set. Was it Robinson? The Motherwell manager,
Stephen Robinson. Yes,
he got himself sent to the stands after that. Who is it? Keith Lasley, their assistant.
Yes,
he was raging and nearly got sent off to the stands as well. It's just I don't understand what do they think that was going to be?
Derek, the guy slid in, saw that he wasn't going to make contact with the ball, seen where the ball was going up and put both hands up in the air right in front of where the ball was going. End of.
Yep.
It was a deliberate handball. It was in the box. I'm trying to remember the path that the ball was going on, but was the ball heading to goal?
I believe it was, yeah.
So again, could have stopped a clear goal scoring opportunity. I've watched it back so many times and I honestly can't. And I know it is only Michael Stewart, I know that, right? But for him to be so adamant that was never, a second yellow card and a penalty is absolutely beyond me, because it's, what else was he trying to do, Derek?
Michael Stewart is an absolute plum. That's the only way to describe him. Really, I mean, I think he's made an opinion, and he's realised that his opinion's wrong, but he's too proud to back down from it now. Because,
that's it, exactly.
I mean, on Sports Sound last night, they got, who was it? What's his name? The referee, Kenny Clark, was it?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
On. He's saying that I don't know what you're actually, talking about, more or less. Then he started rambling on about biomechanics of fucking going down for a slide challenge. What the fuck is that guy on?
It's absolutely hilarious. And as you say, he's so pig-headed that he will not admit that he was completely and utterly wrong over at Derek. And it was I actually felt embarrassed. And again, I've got to apologise, Derek, to our listeners, but I did watch the game back on Sports Scene. I know I shouldn't and listen to them, but I just had to hear what he had to say, and I actually felt embarrassed for Stephen Thompson and the guy that hosts it. I can't remember his name, because you could quite clearly see the two of them looking at each other as if to say, "No, Michael, you're digging a hole for yourself here, and it's getting bigger and bigger." And he wouldn't back down, and it was hilarious, Derek. And as you say, the afters have just been absolute comedy gold, haven't they? And
Ricky Foster, what the fuck does he look like now, by the way? He looked a state before, but now, what's he done with his hair?
What has he done with his hair?
That was the other guy that was on, the blonde guy with the glasses.
Oh my God, right, okay.
Aye.
Oh. And is he still going to be Amy McDonald?
I think so, aye.
I think she's maybe needing the glasses now,
I think so, aye, but that's another story for another day.
Right, on you go.
Aye, just unbelievable. And how folk can, I don't even know what to say with that one. But anyway, we did obviously get the penalty from it. Tavernier did take the penalty, however, and he scored. However, it was called for a retake because the referee wasn't ready, because he was still busy dealing with the bloody Motherwell bench. So
I know, and we just thought at that point, oh no another retake. This is, he's definitely going to miss it here. I think everybody thought that, didn't they, at the time? But thankfully and coolly, he managed to score it and put it down exactly the same place that he put the first one as well, which I thought was pretty mental. But great penalty, and as I say, I think that set us off after that, didn't it?
Yep. So I don't think he's missed a penalty for us, has he? It's been some record anyway. 9 goals, I think he's scored this season so far. So anyway, we cracked on. 37th minute, Tavernier had a long free kick into the box. Katic forcing a save from the keeper, and he put it out for the corner. And then from that corner, we scored with Morelos scoring. Middleton with another great corner, and Morelos with a superb header into the back of net. Brilliant all-round goal. And once again, Middleton playing a fantastic ball into the box from a set piece.
Yeah, and great to see Morelos scoring a header. He doesn't score many headers, Derek, but again, Motherwell, I don't know if losing their defenders or no, but sometimes, and I heard that actual good point on the radio the other day, Derek, I don't know if it was Bill Young or no, who said, the vast majority of times it's harder playing against 10 men because they are so solely focused on defending. But thankfully for this, for this game, that wasn't the case, because Morelos sort of jumped pretty, hassle-free, got on the end of it and scored. So, good goal, great spot with the cross in, and just fantastic that was us going 3-1 up at that point. And I think at that time, Motherwell knew there was no coming back.
Yep, absolutely. And the half rounded out with on the 39th minute with a good move with Middleton on the left, gets the ball to Morelos in the middle on the edge of the box and shoots just over the bar. So at half time, I don't know if it was the Katic obviously not playing very well, and apart from that one wee chance, he was hooked at half time, and Gareth McCauley came on to make his first appearance for the club. So I'm not going to make count the 30 seconds he got in Spartak. No. So we it was just one way traffic, wasn't it? 47th minute, Middleton down the left puts a great cross in, however headed away just before Morelos got the ball. 51st minute, Morelos came off and Lafferty came on. I think Morelos might have picked up a wee knock just beforehand, so best to take him off. But I've also heard a story that he was on a yellow card, so it was to save him, or rather, it was to save him picking up a booking, which would have ruled him out for the next game.
It was a smart move to make, Derek, because right for the onset, when it first started, you could tell that their game plan was just to try and hit him with as many hard tackles as possible to get a reaction out of him. So, it was a smart thing to do. We were winning 3-1. We had won the game. And, it was going to save him either picking up an injury or, as you just said, they're getting booked. So it was definitely the smart move to make, I think, at that point. Yep.
On the 54th minute, it was good play with Middleton down the left, cuts it back to Arfield in the box, who lays it off to Ajaria, who places a shot on the edge of the box. It was a comfortable save for the keeper, but it was a really good move nonetheless. 57th minute, brilliant sustained pressure, ending in Lafferty having a shot on the edge of the box and deflected out for the corner.
Yep.
And 58th minute, it was not a direct result of the corner, but it was, I think, because it wasn't cleared properly. We went 4-1 up with Middleton scoring. Brilliant all-round move, working the ball to the right on the edge of the box. Grezda had a fantastic cut back all the way through to the other side of the box for Middleton to shoot first time at the back of net. Middleton, certainly the way he was playing today, deserved that goal, didn't he?
Yeah, no, it was absolutely fantastic. As you say, credit to Grezda as well, because he obviously had spotted the run, and it was like a long sort of pass, sort of cut back, wasn't it? Straight into his path. So, all round fantastic move and great goal.
Yep. And we went 5-1 up 2 minutes later with Arfield getting his second of the game. Down the right hand side with Grezda to Jack to Arfield in the middle of the box, unmarked, who shoots and then into the back of the net.
Yep. Excellent.
Great goal. 7 minutes later, we went 6-1 up with Grezda getting a goal. Got the ball on the right hand side of the box, kept on driving forward, and he hit a shot inside the box and into the back of net. Brilliant goal and well deserved, because he had been playing pretty well, didn't he?
Yeah, he was. I think he's the more that's the first time I've really watched him, Derek. There's been fleeting glimpses of him when he's been a sub. I wouldn't class the guy as like your winger, like Kent or like Middleton or Candace. I don't think he's the type of guy that's going to get right down the wing to the byline and put crosses in. I would see this guy, he's more of a sort of left-sided striker, isn't he? He's like he likes to cut in and have a shot, and it was great. He was going. He had one thing on his mind, and his wee sort of dink. He jutted inside and just hit it first time. It was a great goal, and it must be absolutely brilliant for him because he was had a frustrating time against St Mirren. When he was playing, so absolutely delighted for him to get his first goal. Absolutely just great stuff.
Yeah, well, he didn't have long to wait for his second anyway.
Yep.
But anyway, just after that, Middleton came off and Serge Atakai came on, so really excited to see what this youngster had to offer. I think he played in the couple of friendlies in pre-season, but this was his first team appearance, I think, as well. So 73rd minute, Ajaria with a 25-yard trundler heading right through the defence into the bottom right corner, but the keeper managed to just pull out a safety tip it round the post. Really unlucky because I think the way Ajaria had been playing in the game, he had really deserved the goal, and that would have been a great one.
Definitely.
Anyway, on the 74th minute, Grezda did get his second, and we went 7-1 up. A short corner on the right to Tavernier on the edge of the box. Great cross to the far post, and Grezda gets up and heads it in at the back of net. Brilliant header and a brilliant cross as well from Tavernier.
Yep.
And I said this on my mate's group chat, is when Tavernier plays, we play, and today his crossing and his deliveries were absolutely fantastic. As I said on the reaction pod, he was the perfect postman, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was. It was did you say a fantastic cross? But what a great leap, Derek. I mean, really, he managed to get right up there and bulleted the header in. So, another part of this guy's play, and again, it doesn't look like your sort of stereotypical winger, doesn't he? Who are usually quite wee, sort of fast, nippy guys. He's quite sort of tall and and it's certainly, if that's what he can do in the air, that's fantastic. It gives us another option in there, doesn't it?
Yep. And then, really unfortunately, on the 82nd minute, Atakai came off injured, so we had used all our subs up at that point, so it levelled the game to 10 players apiece, didn't it? So really unlucky for the youngster, and it was a perfect game to put him in when we were well up, and just to give him a wee bit of no pressure game time, but not to be, so hopefully he's not too badly injured. 88th minute, Ajaria has a shot over the bar after a good skill on the ball, and the 90th minute, Halliday plays the ball into the box from the right. Macaulay gets his head to it and makes the keeper pull off a save. So rounded out the game, absolutely fantastic result.
Yeah, it really was, Derek. It was what we were needing. The perfect tonic. And the one thing that, for me anyway, Derek, that I think is incredible was that there was no Kent, there was no Candace. The second half, there was no Morelos, and we still managed to score 4 goals without Morelos playing. Goldson wasn't playing, and if you actually go, and I know you said about Gareth Macaulay, he'll not have an easier game, but Macaulay, I think, had sort of a 100% win record in the air. Do you know what I mean? He won every single ball that was put up to him in the air, which is absolutely brilliant as well. And just delighted that they managed to get that level of attacking play, Derek, without some of your sort of established forwards, like I just say, like Kent and Candace, for us still to do that, for young Middleton to come in and look as if he's been playing in the team for so long, is absolutely fantastic. For Grezda to get his first goal, absolutely brilliant as well. And just delighted with that, Derek. Really, really good. And I can't remember the last time we scored 7 goals. Can you? No,
probably one of the times on the lower divisions, but even then I'll be struggling to remember. But
exactly.
So it leaves us in the table. Played 12, won 7, drawn 3, lost 2, scored 32, conceded only 11, goal difference plus 21, and on 24 points. Now Celtic done us a good favour earlier, just before that our game there, and they drew 0 each against Livingston. So we're currently third joint on points with Killie, but we've got a game in hand over them. 2 points behind Hearts, but we've got a game in hand against them. We're only 2 points behind Celtic, who are on top just now, so that's a major thing, considering it was all doom and gloom a couple of games ago. As I said, they're about as inconsistent as us just now, so there's going to be a lot of chops and changes to this league, isn't there?
what is really good, Derek, is all we are hearing at the moment is how Celtic are so far ahead of everyone in Scotland. You know, as usual, Scottish mainstream media, I would like to add, how Celtic are so far ahead of everybody, how they've got by far the better players, how they've got, you know, that's them, they've turned their season round now, blah, blah, blah. We're 2 points behind them, Derek, on exactly the same goal difference. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So, and it was us that was getting slated. It was, you know, us that had the manager that didn't know what he was doing, and we didn't have the strength and depth and all of that. And again, I'll say it, we're on the same goal difference and we're only 2 points behind them. So, no, really good stuff, Derek. I just hope that we keep this up now. I hope that level of performance stays. And the good thing as well is it gives the manager a headache, because although we would see Candace and Kent as being our starting wingers, you can't argue with the goals from Grezda and, you know, the goals from Middleton as well. So, you know, that gives him an option to completely change his front three, Derek, and we know that they'll be able to put in a performance. So they're absolutely delighted with that.
Yep. Just on the mention of goal difference there, as I said, we're plus 21 goal difference, same as Celtic. Now, the goal difference, can you guess what the goal difference for Hearts are? Considering they've been so far ahead in the league this year. So
probably +2 or something like that. Because it's all been like 1-0 wins and things like that, hasn't it?
Only +6. So it just goes to, that's mental, isn't it? So
I had a discussion with a Jambo at work, and he was basically moaning about how bad Hearts are at the moment and stuff like that. And I asked him, I said, look, I says, up until a few weeks ago, you were riding high at the top of the table. I says, is Stephen Naismith such a good player that as soon as he goes out of your team, you're completely fucked? Is he so good, Naismith? Has he been so good for you? You know, do you know what I mean? I'm meaning it as the guy's such a class act playing for Hearts that as soon as he's out of the team, they're fucked. And his answer was yes. That was it.
So a one trick pony then, aren't they?
That was what he said. I says, so Naismith not being in your team and yous are fucked. And he said, aye. So take that. You know, I would never want him back at Ibrox just after everything that was said. But he must be, you know, for him basically to be a one-man show for Hearts, and that's coming from a die-hard Jambo. You know, he must be playing very, very well, you know, up until he got injured. But that's him fucked again, Derek. Do you know what I mean? So, again, that was, you know, it was always the risk with Stephen Naismith, you know, when he was buying, you know, when he was in your team, that he was going to get injured, and, you know, that's what's happened for them. But just an interesting comment there for, you know, a die-hard Jambo that I know that said that about him. So, anyway, I've spoken about him too much then.
Exactly. So, games to come. Unfortunately, we're into an international break now, so a couple of week lull, I know, again. Saturday the 24th of November is our next game. That's at home to Livingston. That's a 3 o'clock kick-off. And to round out November, it's Thursday the 29th of November. It's at home against Villarreal. That's an 8 o'clock kick-off. So, two big games, obviously. Livingston riding still quite high. Strange that we're playing them in quick succession again, isn't it? But their player Dolly Menga's just accepted a 2-game ban, so that's going to be against us. So that was him that
scored the winner against us the last time we played them.
Yeah, so he obviously motioned to headbutt a Celtic player. So it's only served us well, isn't it? So
yeah, that's right. Yep,
that's good. So, and then obviously the big game against Villarreal. So hopefully we can get a result there. And obviously heading into December, we've obviously got Hearts and Celtic and Aberdeen to play. So a tough run of games going into December, but we'll clear these first 2 games in November first.
Yes, definitely. One game at a time, mate. One game at a time.
Yep. So we'll move on now to the classic match.
And then it is. The final whistle's gone. Rangers have won the European Cup Winners' Cup.
So Dave, as I alluded to before, you've got a game here, and it's another team that plays in Moscow, isn't it?
That's correct. It was a famous victory on Russian soil against the very famous team Dynamo Moscow on the 1st of November 2001, and the Rangers team on that day under Dick Advocaat's tenure. Some famous names of really, really quality team here as I'm about to read out. So Stefan Klos on goals, Fernando Rickson at right back, Craig Moore, Lorenzo Amoruso in the centre, and Arthur Newman at left back. Into centre midfield, Bert Conterman, Barry Ferguson, and then Claudio Reyna, Ronald de Boer, Claudio Caniggia and Torre Andre Flo. Now, I think it was, I'm thinking about the sort of formation. I actually think that Caniggia was maybe played wide left, the way that I'm looking at that, with De Boer sort of playing as the attacking midfielder, because De Boer was absolutely sensational in this game. As I say, it was the second leg, and Rangers had won the first leg 3-1, so they were looking to try and get an early goal on the 6th minute. Rangers really starting pushing forward. Lorenzo Amoruso finds Arthur Newman, who in turn finds Ronald de Boer on the left wing. He crosses and it bounces just in front of their goalkeeper and knocked out by the defender for a corner. So really awkward there for the defence straight away. And thankfully, from that resulting corner, Rangers took the lead.
Bert Conterman and Lorenzo Amoruso are up into a packed penalty box. Craig Moore is there as well. In from Caniggia. Good one from Conterman, and there's the opening goal. And it's Ronald de Boer. Now 4-1 in aggregate. The goal Rangers desperately wanted. 7.5 minutes gone.
Claudio Caniggia, who took the corner on the right hand side, fired it in, and it was Bert Conterman with a near post header, and he managed to get it, the near post header, into the back post, and there was Ronald de Boer to sort of slide in and stab the ball home to make it 1-0 to Rangers. So absolutely perfect start there, and the aggregate score was racking up. It was absolutely fantastic. And then a few minutes later, on the 14th minute, Torre Andre Flo actually dispossessed the left back, the right back on the left wing. He runs along the byline, places it back to Claudio Caniggia on the edge of the box, who in turn lays it off to Claudio Reyna, who was running through. Fantastic vision by Caniggia to Reyna, and he shoots and it's sort of deflected off the defender and out for the corner. And then again, from that resulting corner, we doubled our lead on the 15th minute.
Ferguson, useful ball in. Komatowski has missed it. And it's 2-0 on the night, and now 5-1 overall, and that's a howler by Vasily Komatowski. He was under some pressure, but the ball went straight through his hands.
The corner played back to Barry Ferguson, who was in the corner of the box. He actually put a cross in, and then an absolute blunder with the goalkeeper. He goes up for it to catch it, goes right through his hands, ends up into the back of the net. Absolute howler by the goalkeeper, but we were taking it. That was 2-0 to Rangers. It was really game over after that. We'd got the 2 away goals. There was absolutely no way that team was going to score, 4 or 5 goals into us. So we were an easy streak there. But Dynamo did actually pull a goal back, and it was a fantastic free kick on the edge of the box by their star man Gusev.
And it's the skipper Gusev who stands over the ball. Gusev shots! Gusev's goal!
He put it right over the wall, and it dipped right down onto the goal line. It was a sensational goal. That was in the 26th minute to make it 2-1 to Rangers. In the 30th minute, Rangers, got straight back in it. A shot from the edge of the box by Claudio Reyna, which was just over. A few minutes later after that, 35th minute, a cross from Claudio Caniggia, which just missed Torre Andre Flo by just a millimetre. I don't know how he didn't get his head on it. That was at the back post, just over the bar. Really unlucky there. But then we scored our third goal of the night on the 41st minute.
That's lovely stuff from Ronald de Boer. Through for Flo. Here's a chance for number 3. Torre Andre Flo finishes in some style. Set up by de Boer. Now 3-1 on the evening.
Ronald de Boer attacking through the middle in midfield. It beats his man, a fantastic bit of skill, but de Boer sort of, puts the ball nutmeg through the guy's leg, picks the ball up, great ball to Torre Andre Flo right in front of him. Flo just takes one touch to control it and batters it right into the top corner. An absolutely sensational goal by Torre Andre Flo. Really, really good stuff. And we saw out to half time. Rangers well in control, winning 3-1, absolutely fantastic. So then into the second half, it was a training match, Derek. It really was. It was possession play the whole way, hardly giving the ball away at all. Moscow Dynamo knew that they were beaten. In the 58th minute, Barry Ferguson with a through ball to Ronald de Boer, who was just offside. Really, very fine margins, or he would have been through 1-1 with the goalkeeper. On the 72nd minute, Rangers made a couple of subs. Ronald de Boer and Caniggia went off, and they were replaced by Peter Lovenkrands and Russell Latipi at that point. And then on the 78th minute, we rounded things off. They rounded off the scoring for the night.
Good work from Flo. Finds Latipi. Lovenkrands makes a good run. Excellent pass. Chance for Lovenkrands. It's 4-1 on the night. Brilliant pass from Latipi. It was inch perfect. And that's a cool finish from Lovenkrands. 4-1, now 7-2.
Stefan Klos, who had the ball, a long kick which found Barry Ferguson in midfield, and he just sort of flicked the ball to Torre Andre Flo, who plays a fantastic forward pass to Russell Latipi, who was running onto the ball. Latipi picks the ball up and he plays again an incredible through ball. He must have just seen Lovenkrands at the corner of his eye, sprinted through, plays a fantastic ball through to him. 1-1 with the goalkeeper. He takes it past the goalkeeper, a wee bit lucky because the ball kind of stuck, so he was able to control it a lot easier and stabs it into the net to make it 4-1 to Rangers. An absolutely fantastic score against a very, very famous team, Derek, a huge team in Russia, famous name in European football, and Rangers actually went on and won 7-2 in aggregate, so a fantastic result for Rangers, and absolutely cracking red NTL Nike strip. Did you see that?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, no, great game to watch. Ronald de Boer, absolutely sensational in that match. He really was one of my favourite players of all time. Ronald de Boer, really, really good, and a fantastic European away victory. So if you get the chance to go and watch it, please do. Some great goals in there.
Yeah, brilliant game as usual, and it's that's the kind of game we want to get back to playing in Europe.
Definitely,
absolutely dominating teams that are, certainly they were a big team, I suppose, but they weren't, they weren't living up to their historic big name, were they? So, but dominated them start to finish. Great to see, and hopefully we'll get back there at some point.
Yeah.
So we'll move now on to the news. Right, a few bits and pieces to cover here in the news. Firstly, apparently we've added former Arsenal coach Neil Banfield to the scouting department. He's spent over 20 years with Arsenal, so it's good to bring someone in with a lot of experience there. Definitely,
and apparently, he was responsible for a lot of sort of young French talent going to Arsenal, when Arsene Wenger was there, Derek, so here's hoping he's still got all the contacts and he's able to find some gems for us.
Hey Bobby, what's the French for va va voom?
Dear.
Do you not remember that advert?
I do, but just know your Irish accent, though, Derek.
I don't think it was Irish. I don't know what it was, but it certainly wasn't Irish.
I'm not quite sure what the hell it was. Oh dear.
Next thing, Stuart Robertson has stated that despite posting a £40 million loss for the season, Gerrard will still have transfer funds to spend, so good to see that. Certainly we're sticking to our guns and we're giving Gerrard some money to spend as well, and obviously you would like to think it's going to be prudent spending and wise spending, but certainly it's good to see that they're going to stick to that as well.
Yeah, well, we'll wait and see what happens in January, Derek. I've got a feeling it might be a couple of loan players. I know we were talking about Steve Davis before, whether or not they would be willing to shell out the money now or try and wait until his contract runs out. I honestly don't know, but interesting times, Derek, and it does gives a wee bit of hope that we might be bringing in a couple of fresh faces as well in January, doesn't it?
Yep. Talking of loans, Joe Worrell has been a bit non-committal on his future, stating that he's a Forest player. He kind of, people are reading a lot into that. He's kind of got to say that. Yeah. He obviously doesn't want to piss off his parent club.
Exactly.
If we don't make a bid for him at the end of the season, so a lot of people reading into that. I'm certainly not.
No, as you say, he's really got to say that, and he's really got to start putting in, in my opinion, better performances for us to consider making a bid for him. But we'll wait and see what happens there. But I'm not reading anything into that at all.
No. Now, just broke earlier on tonight that the breaking of the ground today had happened for the start of the work on the Hummel Training Centre about building the stand and the facilities there. But also Mark Allen has revealed that Ibrox facilities for players and staff are going to be upgraded, as also with a dining area for players for pre-match meals, players' lounge, a gym, a manager's office closer to the change room, and apparently for next season £1.5 million will be spent on a hybrid pitch. So good to see that improvements to Ibrox is keeping going. Obviously, the one concern, and it was highlighted on one of the other podcasts, is a hope that they don't touch the changing rooms, because that is one of the fundamental parts of Ibrox. It's the whole history of it. As we've seen on the tour, that's it's right down to the wood selected in there. It's specially selected wood by Bill Struth himself. So I can't see them touching that at all, Derek. There's certain traditions I think that you really can't tamper with, and that's definitely one of them. So I'm not worried about that at all. I mean, that's one thing. I was watching that All or Nothing documentary on Man City that was on Amazon Prime, and they obviously got a brand new stadium, but the changing room's soulless. It's a round room. It's like a very sterile looking room, and obviously it's a new stadium, so there's not going to be a lot of history there, but it just looked like any other modern changing room. At least Ibrox is traditional. There's got a lot of history there, so as you said, keep it the way it is.
Yep.
Bit of a strange one this. Gerrard's team had arranged an interview with a Channel 4 reporter about the documentary film being made about his playing career. Then journalist Kieran Jenkins, I think his name was, claimed on Twitter that he was told not to ask anything about sectarianism or Neil Lennon. Obviously that's in reference to his the coin throwing incident. Apparently by a Rangers staffer, and then was waiting hours in Auchenhowie where Gerrard was a no-show. So he was obviously complaining about this on Twitter. The tabloids picked it up, and it's eventually led to a Rangers spokesperson hitting back saying the interview was set up to discuss the documentary film. It was clear that the journalist's questions were not in keeping with the agreement of the interview, so the interview did not go ahead. So as usual, just a shit-stirring journalist, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely, Derek. And we'll never actually find out exactly what was said, but it sounds to me like it was just he was a bit pissed off with things, and he's decided to put all that in. But again, I'm not really reading that much into that.
No. Carlos Pena, looks as if he's heading back to Ibrox.
Yes. Now, we discussed this briefly in the last pod, didn't we? What's your thoughts, Derek?
Well, if I'm led to believe, I don't think he can play until January because his loan deal was terminated 2 months early. Don't understand that, if that really is the case, to be honest.
Exactly, considering he's our player.
But certainly, if he's cleared up his, as I said in the last pod, if he's cleared up his off-field antics and he's proven that he can be an asset to the club, keep him. We paid a lot of money for him. As we've said before, and as other people have said, he's clearly got talent there. So if he can be used, certainly use him. And even if we can, put him in the shop window, even if it's just to do that, to at least claim some money back, then I'd be quite happy with that. He's a player, he's a creative player, that's the thing. In the position we need a creative player, so use him.
He's a goal scorer, Derek. He's a goal scorer, and it just depends whether or not Steven Gerrard can get the best out of him, and that remains to be seen, doesn't it? But we'll wait and see. Interesting times, and as you say, we'll have to wait and see what he says to the fans and stuff like that. All that stuff wearing with the Rangers shorts and everything like that. That'll be one of the first things that gets fired at him when he comes back. So we'll wait and see what his explanation was with that. So, interesting, Derek. I'm kind of in the same way as yourself. If he can prove that he's fit and he's mentally fit as well, and he's up for the challenge, then why not, use him? Because as you say, we did pay a lot of money for him, didn't we?
Yeah. Next thing here, just kind of got posted up today on the podcasts, and I think it was up a couple of days ago on YouTube, but Josh Windass done an interview with Cy Ferry revealing a few things, as you would kind of expect. Joe Gardner had to cancel his apparently £30,000 stag trip to Las Vegas, and Pedro Caixinha would not give him time off due to the early pre-season start, and apparently Gardner was absolutely raging about it, and there was a quote from Windass, and I'm not too sure who he was meaning here, and this is a quote: "After that, I was thinking he's not going to be here after next season 100%, so I don't know if he meant Gardner with that or he meant Caixinha. Either way, it's bloody shocking." That's clear that Gardner, his head was clearly not in for playing for the club.
Yep.
If it means that was the opinion of Windass, that Caixinha wasn't going to be long for the job, then what does that say? He's clearly not playing to the best of his ability. He's not going to try for the manager, because it's like, well, he's not going to be here anyway. So really, I couldn't give a fuck if the players thought that they were, what they were going to get in terms of time off in that pre-season. Because of their failures that season, it meant we had to start about 4 weeks early in the qualifying rounds for Europe, which is the reason why they got a shorter pre-season. I think they only got something like 9 or 10 days off. It really shows the lack of respect for wanting to play for both the team and also the manager. And also at the end of it, Windass, he revealed that he basically left because he was in the huff at us accepting a £2.5 million bid for him, where he thought he was clearly worth more. Well, I'm sorry, Josh, but we bought you for £60,000 from Accrington fucking Stanley, not for £10 million from Man United. You're at your level. There wasn't a lot of clubs coming in for you that are willing to pay anymore. So he's not set the heather alight down south now, has he? So he's one of these players who's got the IQ of a fucking melted jobby, I think.
The whole thing, my feelings on Joe Gardner. The guy should never have been playing for our club, regardless. Another absolutely waste of space. I don't care what anybody says. And Josh Windass, again, Josh, just keep your mouth shut, man, and go on with playing football. I think that was the big part as well, Derek. I think if he had just a shut up and no constantly put things on social media and all that, he would have got on a lot better with the supporters and stuff like that. But he could not stop with the tweeting shit and taking the huff for the fans, and so the vast majority of this stuff he's brought on himself, and if he can't see it, then he's a bigger moron than what we all think he is now. So quite incredible. Yeah.
Next thing here, obviously talking about Caixinha there, he has lifted the Mexican Cup only for the 4th time in Cruz Azul's history, so he's certainly doing something right there. He, funnily enough, had a touchline ban for the final, however then got into a bus stop with the press after the game before being dragged away by his own staff. So funny, but certainly I think one of the things is as well, what Windass kind of revealed there is quite telling, and I think they had lost the dressing room quite quick. But I think he was a decent manager, and I think there was something in him, but I think the players, there was a point when Windass in his interview highlighted the fact that Kenny Miller of all people were ripping into the team, so Windass thought, fuck this, I'm not listening to this, and went to go for a shower, and Miller shouted, get the fucking sit back down now. So this is the type of players you had at that time under Caixinha. Disrespectful little shits, basically. So if they weren't going to give, respected players, respected teammates any time, were they going to give a foreign manager any time? So I don't fully blame Caixinha, and I think there was something in him there that could have been really good.
Well, it's proven that Derek, it's certainly in other leagues, that he obviously does know. He obviously knows the Mexican game very well, and he's been a success there. So he was unlucky in a few games as well, Derek. Let's be honest, but he was hounded by the press in Scotland, absolutely shocking, and it made him look as if he was like an absolute buffoon. And as you say, the dressing room that he had at that point were desperate to get rid of him as well. So he was really losing, he was losing the battle there straight away. And I think we were all desperate for him to do well. We keep saying that, but it wasn't to be. So I'm just glad that he's finally, he's back and he's been successful as a manager. And good luck to him, eh?
Yep, absolutely. Sad news here. Andy Little has announced his retirement from football at age only 29. Only had a 12-year career, and it's really he put it down to himself to really meant too many long-term injuries since leaving us, and quite a few bad ones. A fractured eye socket, bad head knocks as well. So, certainly was a decent player for us. He's a great pundit, and I think he's still doing coaching as well with us. So
that's good. Yeah,
whatever he chooses to do, I hope he is successful and has a good time.
I know, it's good memories, especially when he scored the goal against Celtic and that as well. I mean, that's a dream. That at least he's got, Derek, something that we could all only dream about doing. He's actually managed to do it. So here's hoping that he has a successful career. Whatever he does after that, if he stays in coaching, then fantastic.
Yep. So the last piece of news I've got here is the SFA have signed a 6-year deal with Premier Sports for the Scottish Cup games. Some will be on BBC, some will be on Premier Sports. However, I think the one semi-final's on BBC, one semi-final's on something stupid like that. Apparently it's worth between 18 and 20 million over the 6 years. Means effectively you'll have to fork out for 3 subscriptions between that, BT and Sky. Now, Rangers Facts tweeted it was just a quick sum. BT Sports subscription on Sky, £27.99 a month. Sky Sports subscription, £22 a month. Premier Sports subscription, £9.99 a month. BBC licence fee, he's broken it down into monthly payments, £12.55. Total monthly cost to watch Scottish football, £72.53.
A month.
And that's you not getting every single one of the games for your own team. Oppose that to what you're paying for Rangers TV if you use the VPN route or you're abroad. £17.25 a month, and that's you getting the games that really matter to you, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't care about watching the other games. I don't care that the fact that BT Sports, Sky Sports and Premier Sports will give you a load of other sports as well. I only care about watching Rangers. So there comes a point then surely the clubs need to take this in their own hands and say, we want to go down our own way of paying for our own TV channel. Rangers, obviously have got that subscription. Celtic, Kilmarnock, because a few other teams got it as well. Reduce the prices of season tickets to get into the stadium. Put on a cost of maybe double the cost for Rangers TV or something like that. So it means you're still getting the subscriptions. I would quite happily pay £300 a year to get every single Rangers game on our TV, as long as obviously the never had as many faults as it does.
Aye.
But it's a way of doing it. You reduce the season ticket fee because people would still go into the stadium.
Yep.
And then arguably, if each team have got their own TV deal with their own fans, then you could arguably charge sponsors more because you're going to have a bigger subscription to the fans, the demographic you're actually aiming at with all the sponsors in the stadium. So it's a no-brainer for me, but once again there'll be too many backhanders going on within the SFA and the SPFL. Allegedly. for that to happen, and it's not right because the fans are the one losing out. Who in their right mind is going to pay £72.53 a month to pay for Scottish bloody football? There is no wonder illegal streams go on at this point, is there?
No, you're quite right, Derek. It's scandalous that you now, to watch Scottish football, you have to take out 3 different subscriptions. Absolutely shocking. And as you say, there's no better time after that than to get subscribed to RTV, is there?
No, absolutely not, and perfectly legal.
Yep,
VPNs are not illegal in this country, and the money goes directly to the club. So rather than using dodgy streams, certainly go to and go down that route. It's a very easy process to do.
And you get to listen to Tom Miller, which is absolutely fantastic. He's the man is an absolute legend, hilarious.
Yes. So that leads us into the next story. Woman sues her ex-boyfriend because his abnormally long penis stretched her vagina. Celindel Magnina, 29, from Zimbabwe, said that her vagina was tight before she met her ex, Mogove Karuma, in 2016.
Oh, right.
Karuma, who was 37 at the time, who has claimed he was married at the time, and Manenga fell in love and started a relationship. However, she told the Zimbabwe Mail that she ended the relationship in May after his penis stretched her too much. She said, "No man can literally fill the gap that her ex left."
Does you know how it had the pelvic floor exercises, Derek?
It's not been confirmed how big his penis actually is. She now wants to have reconstructive surgery, which costs a massive £8,000. Karima has not yet responded to the allegations against him.
Oh, dear. Derek and his sources, eh?
Yep, absolutely. So, on that note... So, we obviously have our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/iReadyPod. Our Twitter account is at Twitter. No, it's not. It's at Twitter. No, it's not. It's at iReadyPod. We have our main website, which you can get everything about us. You can get links to our YouTube pages, our Instagram pages, our website, which is... as a website. You can get links to everything we do, which is... iReadyPodcast.wordpress.com. So certainly check us out, and also we're on Spotify, so if you're not listening to us already on that, go ahead.
No excuses, Derek, because we are available everywhere, and just like what Derek said, if you are a avid listener of us, spread the word, try and get our Twitter followers up, try and get our subscriptions up as well. We are doing it for use. Everything is completely free, so please spread the word on the pods, and everything like that will be much appreciated.
Yes, so thanks for listening, and goodbye.
Yes, we'll be back soon, folks. Take care. Cheers.
And the stadium erupts in red, white and blue. You've never seen anything like it.
Let's go.